If Emmett doesn't tell Keisha what's going on right now, he's gonna have a big issue because you're about to walk down the aisle. You're not telling your future wife what's going on. Let's talk about it. It's your boy Tamar back with another video. Back with another banger. Today I'll be viewing The Chi season 8, episode 8, entitled Cold Hearted, and it was a pretty much for us to have 2 more episodes left and we're about to be to the series finale. I don't know. Not much is really going on. It's really not. And I'm just like so disappointed of how the season is going. This is the final season and nothing has happened. Are y'all just going to cram everything up into these final 2 episodes? And what if nothing happens next week? Y'all just going to cram everything up to the last episode? I'm not liking it. But hey, let's just get right into the episode, chat. So the episode starts off with Bakari getting questioned by Detective Dusant. And she basically asking him what's going on with Nook. He was like, someone took him out. She was like, was it you? He was like, nah. She was like, who was it? He was like, ask Tip. So, boom, we get to that. So then, Emma and Keisha are like laying up together. She's still worried about Nookie. He's basically like, listen, today's our bachelor and bachelorette parties. Let's just have some fun. Forget about it. And she's like, I can never forget about Nookie. He's like, no, but just try to ease your mind, have some fun today. And she agrees. So then, Tiffany and Trick are talking about her working with Reg, and she like, listen, what you and your brother got going, they ain't got nothing to do with me. So he basically just shrugs it off, whatever. So then, Shad is at the detective center, whatever detective, detention center, and he's trying to talk to the kids, and basically, they talking whatever. He basically tells them that to get ready next time because they finna play some basketball and this and that and the third. I'm gonna be real, I don't really care about the kids' scenes, but we have to talk about it. So then, and I don't care about the scene either that I'm about to talk about. Hannibal's ex-girlfriend and the dude working for Reg, or Nook or whatever, I don't even know their names. I guess they together. He feeling some type of way because he don't want her keeping secrets. She tells him that she's about to work for Smokies. Who cares? Who cares? Skip. I don't care. I probably. But then Reg is feeling down because he feels like he wants to make up with his brothers and he feels like he needs a good relationship with his brothers. He's talking to his girl about it. She basically saying, maybe you should call him. He was like, well, I am who I am and they better take it or leave it. And she was like, okay, well, you can't expect not to change the people and expect people not to leave you. So then, it has him doing some thinking. So then Bakari's talking with his sister and he telling her what's going on. She's basically like, do you want Tiffany to kill you? She's basically like, you need to come to Atlanta with me. He finally agrees that he wants to go to Atlanta with her, but he needs to talk to, Lene about it first. I'm going to just go ahead and say later on in the episode, he talks to Lene and he basically tells her, well, I ain't going to tell you what he told her yet because that happened later on in the episode what he told her. But he basically tells her something and that he wants to move to Atlanta and she basically agrees to move to Atlanta with him and they say they love each other. So then we're at the bachelor and bachelorette parties. Emma's with his boys, Keisha's with her girls. They're all having a good time. They hire a stripper, masseuse or whatever. And long story short, the stripper ends up stealing Emma's watch that Keisha gave him, so he ends up freaking out. So then, while we're at the bachelorette parties, basically, Tiffany gives a speech saying that she's glad that the reason her Emma didn't work out was because Keisha and Emma were meant for each other and she held some resentment at first, but now everything's cool and dandy. So then Emma freaks out when he finds out that his watch is missing. Him and Keisha are about to make love, but then Keisha realizes his watch is missing and she gets mad. But then she later on doubles back and says that she's no longer mad about it because I'll tell you that later. We'll go back to that later. So then Trey gets a call that his mom passed away and he calls Reg. So then Reg and Trig are talking, they're crying, and basically they end up telling Jake, and Jake, is mad and he cries and he tells Bakari, and then that's when Bakari ends up telling tells Lene that he wants to move to Atlanta. But then he also gives Reg his money and tells Reg that he's no longer going to be working for him. He's sorry for his mom's loss. And Reg says it's fine. He doesn't really care what Bakari does. So then the boys are playing basketball, whatever. And Riley sees that Shaw is good with the kids. So she basically suggests that Shaw should do a permanent full-time position at a community center. Also, Shaw suggests he wants to move in with his girlfriend. They be a family. And she says, are you ready for that? He says, I think I am ready for that. So then later on in the episode, Keisha basically thanks Emmett for telling her the truth, and she was mad, but as long as he always tells her the truth, she would never be mad at him. And then the episode ends with Emmett feeling guilty that he didn't tell Keisha about, Nook. So that was the ending of this episode, and I'll see you guys next week for episode 9 of The Chi.